Hello everyone, my name is Lelaine Art Geek. Welcome back to my channel. It is so nice to have you here today. This is another sketchbook speed paint video with me talking about a certain subject. In this case, we're going to be talking art business, and I kind of want to talk a little bit more about my experiences attempting to start my own business. There is a lot to it, and I just thought that this would be something that, as an aspiring business owner, that this could be something that other people who would like to try to start their own business can follow and relate as well, because I'm still in the starting stages of trying to open my business and develop it and getting myself out there. So I hope you guys can see this video as sort of like a tips video as well as an experiences video, to where you can relate and always, ask questions if you ever need to. And I am just here to help. I would absolutely appreciate if this video has helped you and you let me know that. I will try my best to make sure that I give out as much info as possible about starting your own art business. So before I actually get into that, I just want to explain what I'm drawing in this sketchbook video, basically. So I'm just drawing my characters again, Cassie and Caleb. This is actually from my Inktober sketchbook, but I was actually really bad at keeping up with the challenge this month, for this year actually, and that's obviously my fault because I have been focusing on my own work lately, and also my business, which I'm going to be talking about here, and I don't feel bad, but I also do, because I would have hoped that I could achieve the challenge again this year, but life took over for the month of October, and it is what it is. But I figured that I would still have this video be a Inktober sketchbook speed draw, so that you guys can see my drawing process as well as, getting that art business advice from me as an aspiring business owner. So let's go ahead and get started. So I actually have a total of 5 points, or 5 things that I want to talk about in this video. So I will try to be as extensive as possible when explaining with all of these points. So my first point, or my first topic, would be explaining what my business is all about. So basically, I wanted my business, which is also called Lelaine Art Geek. So considering that my name is Lelaine Art Geek online, but it's also the name of my business. And basically the overall goal is just to make people happy. I love the feeling of just seeing someone looking at my work and telling them that I've just inspired them or I've made their day, and it really does make me happy. And that is the overall goal of my work. I want everyone to just look at it and have them feel good about it, And of course, inspiring others is a really big goal for me as well, because I want people to ensure that their dreams are being followed and they're being achieved. And that is the overall mission of my business. And also basically, I guess like a product sense for goals, I've already made keychains and stickers and pins and prints, but it would be an absolute dream to do an apparel line. I kind of want it to be similar to OmoCat, which is another great business. I love OmoCat, and I love that, their apparel is just so eye-catching to me. I'm trying not to copy them. They inspire me, that is absolutely for sure. But I also just want to gain inspiration from them and kind of get some advice from others who make apparel lines and see how they go. But that is one of my product goals, is to do some apparel, like sweaters, hoodies. I especially really want to do hoodies and crew necks and all of that, and t-shirts, jackets, that sort of thing. I know it's really ambitious, but that is something that I do want to achieve with my business later on down the road. So those are my overall goals, both as a mission statement and for products. So that is something that you might want to keep in mind when you're opening your business. For art, keep in mind on what goals you want to achieve with your business. Like, what is your mission statement? What are you trying to achieve? How do you want to achieve it? And what are your overall, checkpoints with your business, and how are you going to reach to each of those checkpoints in the long run? So that is my first point. And so my second point is how I started and what made me start. So in 2021, I actually started because my friend reached out to me and she asked if I wanted to table at, which I already made a vlog of for this year, but for last year, it was the Domu Mini Market for 2021. And I was kind of hesitant at first because I have never tabled like this before. However, I decided to go for it because it was a really new experience, and I love getting new experiences, especially when it comes to my art. And I tabled there for the first time, and it was absolutely wonderful. I also tabled at WasabiCon for the first time as well in that same month, and oh my goodness, I think that day I literally told myself, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. I know that's probably not going to happen because a lot of things are just going to have to happen in my life or in other people's lives as well, but like I really wanted to do tabling events for a really long time, for as long as I can do them for. So that's how I started, and it kind of just went from there. I got really obsessed with trying to find more events to showcase my work, and I knew that this was something that I needed because in 2021, I was just going through a really tough period of trying to figure out what I want to do with my life. I know I've probably talked about it in this channel before, but I also just basically told myself, hey, let's not do art anymore. You need to make money. And if it means that you're going to be away from your passion, away from your art, then so be it. And it was such a toxic mindset to me because I was not going to lie, I was really sad just having to work and not do what I wanted to do, especially with a job that I didn't even care about, nor was it within the field that I was studying. So it was kind of silly that, I went that route, and I had to look back and realize, hey, that was a mistake. So starting to table and then later starting to realize that, I should open my own business was kind of a game changer, and it was a lifesaver for me as well. So definitely something that I've needed with my art and something I'm still cherishing, because without that realization, I don't even know where I would be right now, honestly, you guys. So I'm just grateful. I'm grateful to have had that opportunity. I'm grateful for the entire year of 2022. I've just done a lot of tabling events, and it does relate to the next topic, the next point that I wanted to say about, growing your art business is artist alleys are your best friends. Artist alleys are your best friends. If you don't have any of them near you, or you don't have any conventions of any kind, whether it be like pop culture, anime, gaming, sci-fi, then I would suggest either looking at your nearby state or so, or finding other places, maybe local, that are having markets where you can try to showcase your work at. I will say though, it's tricky because you don't know if there are, well, first off, you don't know if there will be any nearby you, unless if you're lucky. And then second, you just don't know how the crowd will react to your work. That's how I felt at first. But then I started and the support was out of this world. So I will say this, you will never know until you actually do it. I firmly believe behind that statement. And again, artist alleys are your best friends. Try to apply to as many as you possibly and financially can, because they can get expensive trying to get into some. But I will tell you right now, they are the best way to get yourself out there and to jumpstart your business. You make a lot of connections at conventions and markets. And depending on where you live, you will sometimes see these people again. And I apologize if there's noise in the background. But like I said, you will probably see these people again, and you're going to be able to make those connections. And it's just, it's such a rewarding experience, because not only will people see your work, but then you'll also be supporting others just by, appreciating and viewing their work in general, having their work in mind. And same goes for them to you, which is why artist alleys, people can get scared about tabling at artist alleys, and I completely get it. Of course, that's how, I reacted at first. I was hesitant. I wasn't sure if people would like my work. But once again, you won't know until you do it, and you just gotta do it. Especially if you know that you want to start your art business, you gotta do it. You gotta do it in person as well. You wanna make sure that people know your face, and this noise is insane. I hope you guys can't hear that over this voiceover, but people should know what you look like so that they know who to trust. Because of course, with the business, you are taking people's money in exchange for products. So you want to make sure that you build those connections with your customers as well. Super, super important. And also, it's just a really good way to, get inspiration from other people as well. Like I said, with the connections, you see them all the time, and then you start to learn from them too. You start to learn about how people table or have their displays in artist alleys, how they're more appealing, and also just overall kind of get the idea of how an art business should run. Within the past year in 2022, I have done probably about, I would say, maybe 6 or 7 different conventions and markets, and I have learned so much, you guys. You have no idea. It's like, these are great resources if you ever want to start your art business. And I can just talk about artist alleys all day. Like, honestly, I love artist alleys now ever since I got started. And even after doing them for so long, I still get intimidated, believe it or not. Just because of the fact that you kind of have to take into a lot of consideration when it comes to money, because obviously that is essential for business. Sometimes events can be a little pricey and then you don't make the money back. Believe me, I have gone through more than one event where it just did not meet my expectations, and I've actually lost money rather than earned. And it's not a fun feeling. Unfortunately, these events, you can never tell, and that is one of the cons about artist alleys, is you just never know unless if you do your research ahead of time and you talk to people who have attended those events before, but like I said, it's tough. It really is. And it's also rewarding at the same time. So you got to take the opportunity whenever you're able to. But of course, when it comes to your art business, you have to keep in mind about, your money. Always keep track of what you're spending. Buying products is really everything is tricky, but buying products itself is tricky because you have to keep up with those expenses, and you have to make sure that when you're selling them, you want to consider the amount of time you've made, or the amount of time that you've put into your artwork, as well as the products itself, how much you paid to create that art into a product. So lots of things to keep in mind. I feel like I just explained another point without even realizing, but it is the financial impact of your business. So, like I said, keeping up with expenses is important. I would suggest either doing an Excel sheet or a notebook or anything to keep track of your expenses. I'm bad at it, actually. However, with my receipts, how whenever you order products, you usually get an email receipt or a physical receipt. I keep those receipts. So even if I don't, write any of my numbers down, I do keep the receipts so that I know that, I spent on this, so I should try to earn more than that. So just keep that in mind, and pretty much you're good to go, honestly. You're golden when it comes to selling your work in person. Of course, make those connections. Having your business start in person is essential too, so that people know what you look like and can kind of build that personal connection. And as for the products themselves, honestly, I would suggest making prints first. And the reason is because that is usually one of the most common products that you can find both online and in artist alleys. And for the specific sizes, I would suggest doing either 4x6, 5x7, 6x9. I wouldn't go anything bigger than that, just because especially if you're starting out, you don't want to lose money right off the bat, right? That's how I started. I made mini prints, and I'm not gonna I'm not gonna fluff this up. They sold like hotcakes, just because they're so affordable and people are still able to look at your art and appreciate it, but they don't have to pay a hefty price for it, which is why mini prints, no matter at what convention I go to, and no matter how many other products I have on the table, surprisingly enough, mini prints will always sell the best. So I would suggest mini prints to start with. You can do stickers. You would just have to find a reliable and affordable source for stickers. The app and service that I use right now is Sticker App. And of course, feel free to use that if you feel comfortable using that. I will say that I think, considering that I have been, adding a lot more designs than I've had before, they were getting a little bit pricey to order, which relates to the financial impact of your business. So you just want to keep that in mind, because I obviously, when it comes to your business, I'm not in control of how many products or designs you want to order for stickers. Or if you have a Cricut machine, I still need to find a Cricut machine for myself. But if you have a Cricut machine or a printer that prints stickers and cuts it for you, great resource. I've heard a lot of good things about it. I still have yet to get one. So that's also something I would need to remember for myself. But prints and stickers are usually your best bet. Opening commissions also when you're at a convention is a good idea also when you want to start your business, because your business could also focus on commission making, right? You're receiving money and giving services. That's a business, right? So you can keep that in mind. You can also try to do, I said prints, I said stickers. You can try buttons. I've never made buttons myself yet, but I know that if you have like a button maker and if you have like the right materials for making buttons, like it's overall on the cheaper end, I would say. Again, I haven't made buttons before, so I wouldn't be the best person to, ask about that, but I would say that button making could be a good resource as well. But in my experiences, I will say that stickers and prints first actually would be your best friend when you're starting out an artist at least, and when you're starting out your business. So I think the last point I will actually talk about is, on top of your art business and trying to get yourself out there in person and online, obviously make a website. I have, for some reason, it's taken me so long to make a website. I don't know why, and make a online shop, but I did, and I'm gonna link it in the description below because I don't know why it took me so long. But please, please, please do not be like me. Also make an online shop, because people at conventions are going to ask, oh, do you have an online shop? And then unfortunately you're just going to have to say no because you don't. And I had to do that a lot of times. And then finally I made an online shop. Usually it's because I was just worried about how I'm going to track my inventory. I've had just a lot of hesitations over the course of the year. But you know what? I told myself to suck it up, because it's, if you want to grow your business, you gotta have to reach out to all audiences. So definitely make that website, make that online shop. Right now I use Big Cartel, and I actually really like Big Cartel. And of course you can go ahead and, use that as well. I know you have to pay for it to a certain point. Right now I pay $10 a month, but I don't think I need to expand my plan anymore, because I think I just have all the necessary resources within that plan. I do know that the first 5 listings that you have on there are free. So if you want to just dip your toes into, creating an online shop, but you don't want to pay just yet, Big Cartel is really good for that. I can't say anything else about the other online shop builders because I've never used it, so I'm not going to say anything about it. But after using Big Cartel for like a month? Like I said, this is recent, y'all. I've had a good experience with it. So definitely go for that. It's beginner friendly. Absolutely. And honestly, I believe that's it. And just create a lot of art. If you're having an art business, create a lot of art. Original designs do well, just as well as fan art. So if you're worried that your original ideas will not cut through, then basically you shouldn't listen to those thoughts, because original art and fan art do work hand in hand, and they do both work well. So no worries on that. But basically that is all I have to say about my art business tips, at least based off of my own experiences. So if you have any questions at all, or if you're just curious about more of my experiences as an aspiring business owner when it comes to art, definitely comment down below, or you can reach out to me on any of my social medias. And once again, my online shop is down below if you are interested in checking it out. And I will talk to you guys later. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please have a good day, y'all. Bye.